So here is the workshop, and I mentioned my personal page is iteach.co.nr, and I hope that this whole video and this presentation will be available to you to come back to and refer to anytime you want, or to share with other people. What I like about this technology, both the TitanPad and the HyperCam program that I'm using, is that it's all free. Our students can actually duplicate the way they can start teaching the way we teach, and that's exciting to me. So just a little bit of history. Whoops, incoming email. This is live. A little bit of history. About 3 or 4 years ago, I was in a workshop like this, and a teacher told me about WallWisher, which still operates, and I kind of thought this was exciting because you make a little WallWisher website, and anybody comes and just clicks on the page and just starts typing. So I thought, wow, think about the interaction and kind of like brainstorming ideas for a writing class, that sort of thing, and just being automatically able to see everything happening all at the same time. And this is a nice little program for certain purposes, maybe for younger children who don't want to write a lot and just want to be spontaneous. It still might be the best thing for some people. But it's got serious limitations, and the first one is that, guess how many letters you're allowed to type in that box? Well, it's the same as Twitter, 160 characters, so very short little concepts and ideas. And there's a lot of other neat sites like this that kind of have this spontaneous brainstorming concept. And some of them are very expensive because corporate companies are looking for this kind of interaction for their employees, so it's hard to find really fancy ones that are free anymore. And I'll lead you to some others. Another one that I've used extensively, and I really thought that this would be the answer forever, was Google Documents, because the Google document, when you start a Google text document, it lives online. You don't record it onto your own computer. Everything you do is automatically saved online. So I thought, and you can create a Google text document very easily through Google Documents, and then invite other people through a simple email message, which is very nicely integrated with your Gmail. So if you have your students' addresses saved in your Gmail contacts list, it's very easy to do this. To start the document, send them the invitation, and set the document so that everyone can edit. That's what we're kind of getting at here. But it's got some serious limitations in terms of student assignments. Welcome, yes, hello. We're live, by the way. I'm recording now. But Dr. Najib is a television personality, so he's really used to this. I'm not. Anyway, it has a lot of possibilities for collaboration. And like I said, anybody can go to that page at any time and work on it and share their ideas and put in their little comments here and there. But you can't tell who did what. Everybody, maybe there's a way, I'm not really sure there's a way to do it, but it's not easy. And I was looking for a simple way that small numbers of students can interact on the same page and see who is talking, who's writing these comments, and even when they're making these comments. So that was what I was looking for. TitanPad has real-time collaboration between students and teachers It's web-based. There's no special software or programs. It works right in your browser, and you create new pages for new assignments or new groups of students. Typically how I use it is I break my students down into groups of about 3. I start a new TitanPad page and I put it on my website. I put their names next to the page, and then the assignment itself is above the list of pages, or it's let me quickly jump over to my my personal pages. So, like for example, right here I said, Rhoda, Ali, and Ahmed will answer questions number 1 here on this page. And I'll open up the page for you for a minute. And you can see that in this case, I think I even copied question number 1 right onto the page. Yeah, because I am shown, all my work was in orange here. So I just copied that right onto the page for them. And then somebody started answering the question. And then down here, Ali started answering. And he put his name. I asked him to do that. He didn't need to, but it kind of helps a little bit. And then I commented down here in orange on his work. And it's easy to see that that's me because I am orange. All of my work was orange. So I really like the color coding. It makes it very simple to do. So the and I use it mainly for assignments, but I've recently been using it right in class. This summer I taught an English class at UGRU where we were in a lab all the time. And I'll show you how that works. It's really exciting to have the whole class interacting on the page at the same time. Even doing a very simple fill-in-the-blank assignment in real time. So ways to use it, I mentioned some of this already. The main thing, I think the challenge for some of you will be creating the link, creating the new page, then sharing that link with the students, however you like to share links, and then specifying what is the assignment.
When you say creating links, do you have to have like home page?
Well, no, not to make the link, but to share the link. You'll have to think about what's your favorite way to do that, and I'll give you some ideas here in a minute. Some teachers would send it through email, but I don't like doing that. I think you want to start a little home page. And if you don't have a website or a web page, this could become your website or web page. I do not recommend that, though I think it's seriously limited as a website.
So you recommend that each one of us has a home page?
Yeah, I recommend that you use something like Google Sites, which is what I use, where I can, and then, right, so in Google Sites here, I'm back here in Google Sites.
What is your main page here?
Yeah, this is my home page in Google Sites, and I've been working here for about 2 or more than 2 years now, so I have tons.
So this is the main page?
This is my main home page, but it's all in a free Google Site, so anytime I want to edit, this is another workshop, by the way. I'm not going to get into this, but somewhere you should have a home web page. It could be Blackboard, but I really don't think that's very nice.
When you go on Google what?
I use Google Sites. So
It's free, right?
and it's free. And so like here, I'm teaching elementary methods right now, and at the end of every class, so I summarize what we did. I gave a link to an article, and then I gave 4 links to TitanPad pages, and the students I just, in this was the first class, so I just said, you three are group A, you're group B, you're group C. And then they click on the correct link, and I kind of, in this case, I sort of lost track with who is in group A. So in this example, I copied the questions that I wanted them to answer onto the page, and then they visited the page here, and they started answering the questions. Now, I guess I'll start to get into some of the features, but I'd rather come back to this in a minute. So,
but there's no privacy here, so anyone visiting your homepage can see what they have. Right?
Yes, there's no privacy, right? Anybody could come in here, and because it's open to the world, anybody could start changing it. But it doesn't matter. I can undo any changes that anybody makes. So,
so anyone can add anything?
Anyone can add it. Totally open. There's a way to avoid this, but we're getting ahead of ourselves here. So, the main advantage is maximum interaction in real time. That means, like, if the homework is due tomorrow at 10 o'clock, and you know your students are procrastinators, it doesn't matter, because at 9:30, when they're all busy, they're going to see each other working, trying to do the assignment live, because it's due at 10 o'clock. The class starts at 10 o'clock, and I will be on at 5 to 10 seeing what's done and getting ready to respond to it. So this is it's exciting from the point of view of the student's work, but the teacher, instead of normally we would collect homework, and then that night we would read it, and we would say, oh, they didn't really get it. But we don't get to respond to that until 5 days later. That's a big disadvantage in teaching. With TitanPad, you're seeing their homework answers the moment before class starts, and you're responding immediately, not 5 days later, to how well they're doing on this concept. I think that's a huge advantage. Okay, this is, I'm going to get into the mechanics of it right now. You should open a TitanPad account. But if you don't, and if you just want to play with it and get started, you would click on this link here, TitanPad, and this will automatically create a new page which will be public for everyone in the world. I'm going to try to click on it now. Yes, here we go. And this is a new page, public page. What is the link? Well, up here on the top, you can see that DEWWHTDCPW, it randomly assigned that to be this original link. So now I have created a space on the internet, and I've lost my connection for some reason already. I don't know why it happened, but I'm going to start typing here. Now,
you said you create your page, TitanPad.
Yeah.
From where you start? From Google?
No, I gave you that link.
Yeah, the link, from the link.
Yeah, from that link, a new page. It jumps and starts to create a new page. Now, unfortunately, I got disconnected already, and it's reconnecting me. And so I can start typing here, hello, it's me. And this is automatically saved. It gave me a new color. It decided I'm red, I don't know why. And but it doesn't know who I am yet. I don't think I'm signed in. Let me see if I'm signed in. Because I have a TitanPad account, and I don't really know right now if I'm signed in. The options, the pad options are up here. They're very simple. There's very little that you can control. And in terms of options, you can, like, if I want to make this bold, I can do that over here. If I want to underline, very simple text features here, and bullets, indents. I can turn off colors if I want, and then I can undo changes. Now, over here, some simple controls on the page that I can manipulate. If I want to import a Word document into this page, it can do that. And sometimes, for example, if you have a long list of questions you want the students to answer, in some cases it might be better to import it from Word, and it will automatically go into the page as text, as simple text. But you might lose some formatting in the processing, because one of the things on TitanPad is that it only deals with simple text, no special formatting. And that's a limitation for some people. Now, there is a sidebar over here. I'm going to turn it on in a minute here. And so we can be doing some chatting. Hi. Oops, sorry. Hi. And I can see here it's identifying me. So I am signed in. It knows me because I use it all the time, and it saves the little applet. But even if you're a regular user, you don't sign in automatically sometimes, and you do want to sign in. And then I can share this. This is sort of like the way Google Document would work here. I can paste this link somewhere into an email, or it even has a little email function here. But this is not a good way to share with students, in my opinion. You don't want to be sending them emails every time there's an assignment. But it is a possibility. By the way, I think TitanPad was not created for classrooms. I think it was created for business people who are working on little projects with a few other collaborators. Oh, there he is. He found me. Dr. Najib. How did you get that? You typed in that link? Okay. He's here. No, I wanted to demonstrate. I wanted to demonstrate that interaction, because now you can think about little groups of students on different pages, brainstorming, getting ideas, refining ideas. That's wonderful to think about. That kind of real-time. If you believe in constructivism in education, this tool is indispensable, I think. I've never seen anything like it. And, using that new pad link, the teacher does not have to be the one who's starting new pages. Najib can start a new page right now and share it with certain people. So it really decentralizes control over everything. Now, what I want to, one of the most exciting things from a research and a teaching point of view is over here in the upper right-hand corner. And by the way, I know it's identified me now, and up here in this box you can see my name and Najib's name. But this is one of the coolest features over here. It's called Time Slider. When I click on Time Slider, it is it's a total record of everything that happened on this page. And I've got to go in over here. And by the way, if you have trouble identifying the authors, many times I do, I click on Time Slider because I want to see exactly who the authors are. And that's where I find my students' names. So normally, the first thing you have to tell your students is when they get to the page, go up to that box and enter their name. And is that what you did, Najib?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so there's a blank right under my name. He entered his name in up here, right here. There was a box, and he could enter his name. And the cool thing now is that whenever he comes back to this site, any TitanPad site, I think, he will be instantly identified by the IP address on that machine that he uses. If he goes to a new computer, it won't know. He has to re-enter his name. So this makes things very automatic. Now, we're back on the time slider page here, and I'm going to click on play here, up here, and it is going to start playing. Okay, sorry, let me go back here. You're going to see it like a movie. See, it's happening down here? And I can even scroll back here and see, I can go through step by step. I can see the changes that happened. I'm doing it slowly now. Yes, it did. See, I made bold, I underlined, and then Najib came right there. Najib, that's his blue work there. Okay? So, the reason this is important is not so much from teaching, but from the point of view of grading and even research. It's recording everything and exactly when it happened. I think that's really cool for research purposes. But for grading purposes, you want to know who did what and when they did it. Because sometimes our really smart students will jump on the page, answer all the questions quickly, and then the student who is weaker or lazy waits to the last minute. Now you find out exactly when they contributed and what they contributed. And I think that's pretty neat. So I'm going to quickly jump back into the slideshow for a minute here. And I've already mentioned everything's saved automatically. There is a save button, but usually you don't need to use it unless you've got a real slow address. And I've already mentioned these things as well. A little concern for some people, and I've heard some teachers mention this online. What if somebody, like a little kid, puts something online that's really inappropriate? I'm afraid there's no way to delete it. Remember Wallwisher? Wallwisher had an option that the teacher has to approve everything before it goes live to the public, but TitanPad does not. So, but we're working with adults. We don't have to worry about that too much. So, what are the advantages for students? They always know where the assignment is. It's at the link. They can get to the link. They have the assignment usually. Or they know where to put the assignment, you could say. By the way, a lot of my students, I encourage them to, if they're going to type a paragraph, type it in Word, do the spell checking, then paste it onto their TitanPad page. And because our students spell terribly. They can interact and respond to the views of others, which is really exciting, and I try to encourage that a lot. They don't do it easily. They kind of ignore each other's work and just kind of separate it, but I'm trying to encourage more interaction. After they've logged in once and identified themselves, everything else will be automatic whenever they go back to TitanPad. And I think the chat box is cool because they can discuss the process of working together without disturbing the product of the answer. So that's kind of nice. For teachers, they can, my homework assignment is developed after I teach, right after I teach. That's when I go to my Google site, I discuss, I summarize what we did, I put a link to the article. Most of my articles are online now. And then I create the assignment. During the class, I'm telling them sort of what they're going to do, but not exactly. They have to come to the page to see the instructions and to see which group they're going to be in and which page they're going to work on. I think earlier I gave you an example where I pasted the TitanPad link and the names of the students right next to it. I stopped doing that recently because I'm going to show you sometimes if you really start to get into doing this all electronically, I think you will eventually want to start putting your notes online. And so here are my notes from a lesson. And down at the bottom here, after the points, and I'm putting links here too. So like every week I'll have a Word document that summarizes what I did. I used to do this right on the web page, but it's really better to create a separate Word document. And then down here at the bottom, oh, it's not here. Anyway, I used to put the TitanPad links inside the Word document with the names of the students, and sometimes I create tables. If you have a lot of students, it gets a bit complicated, and doing it on a live web page is sometimes a bit of a challenge. Like I said before, the teachers are reviewing the homework before the next class. I think that's a fantastic advantage because you are instantly responding and adjusting your teaching to where the students are at, where they're having problems, instead of waiting. 5 days later, I found out they couldn't do this is normal. And if you only meet twice a week, so you meet on Sunday, you give the assignment, you collect it on Tuesday. Tuesday night, you find out they didn't understand anything and they totally misinterpreted the assignment. It's not until next Sunday that you're able to respond to that. So that's a big problem for us, and I think TitanPad solves that. Now, I know some of you collect things through email and stuff like that, and that is another way to deal with the issue. You can display and refer to examples of student work right away. You can evaluate work and give grades based on using the time slider feature that I showed earlier. So normally now I'm trying to increase the grade value of their TitanPad work because I really believe that this is where the action happens. This is where they show me that they're developing their ideas on the topic. Okay, there are a few disadvantages. You saw one of them already. Pages sometimes disconnect. You need a pretty good internet connection. Eager students may dominate the page and leave the weak students, or the procrastinating ones, with little to say. I haven't solved this very well yet. Normally I will tell them, like maybe I'll say, let's say they have 5 days to work on it. I'll say, okay, you're only allowed to put maybe 1 paragraph by Tuesday, and then come back on Thursday and look at what your friends did, and then develop and elaborate your own work. I mentioned poor spelling, and a lot of times, because this is Web 2.0, everything is spontaneous. A lot of times ideas are not very well organized or clarified. But that's all right. It's about process more than product. So I've already mentioned this advice. Try to get them to work gradually. Save some of their ideas. And the second point here, this is really challenging, but I would like them to, especially if they're in smaller groups of, let's say, 3, that they would actually reorganize information by cutting and pasting right on the TitanPad page to create sort of little paragraphs, maybe even with headings, to show me how they're developing their ideas and responding to the work that they did and that other people did. Is that clear? Okay. I haven't, only my graduate students have done that well so far. Okay, let me show you some examples of TitanPad pages that I've done, and also get into some of the more advanced features. You've seen how I lead. I used to lead students like this to the page. So there's the link, and this is in my English domain. I have an account, and I created, by the way, this class was 612, and I created that code. And in my case, I said 5, it's assignment number 5, and it's group A in assignment 5. So develop your own little system for designating pages after you get an account. And that way students will sort of know, how to interpret that. And so the students just click and get right to the page. And the assignment itself, maybe you put it on the page above the link, or maybe you paste it onto the TitanPad page. It's however you want to do it. And then okay, I'll come back to this in a minute. So here is the page, and it got reconnected. But you can see down in the chat box, we did have a little bit of chat going down. Normally we turn off the sidebar down here. The sidebar takes up some screen space. And I'm not signed in. I'm going to sign in myself up here in the upper right. I want to make sure that I'm signed in. And then now it knows who I am. And then if I want to chat about what's happening, and students are chatting with each other, that goes in here. Nobody was doing the homework, so down here on March 15th I said, we're still waiting, please, come on. Maybe there's only like 4 hours left, where are you? So that's the process is happening here. And then I want to remove the sidebar so we can see more text. Then I do it down here. And there are times when it is nice that students just name themselves, but usually it's not technically necessary. I have had little problems when I get more than 5 students on a page. There seems to be only about 5 or 6 colors. So a lot of times after about 6 students, it's hard to distinguish them by colors. And then, so you can see the work that different students did here on this one. And it was quite developed. And another advantage here is that if they didn't do the assignment well the first time, I'll say, go back onto the same page. Keep working on it. Develop your ideas more. And let's look at some other pages now here. I've lost connection there. See, I don't know why I'm having...
Why do you lose connections?
I think it's because it's a poor... oh boy, he typed in Arabic. I didn't know they supported Arabic. That's good.
Because my question there is it supported Arabic or not?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, it supported Arabic. That's nice to know. Why do we lose connections? I think it's a slow internet connection, or maybe the RAM on my computer. It might be using a lot of RAM memory. I don't really know exactly. Okay, here's one I want to show you because it's really cool. By the way, this is when I was using TitanPad live in a lab class where everybody had a computer. Everybody was working on the assignment together, answering questions together. And in this particular case, the TitanPad page itself became the web page. I did not lead students to a new web page. I told them to type in english.titanpad.com/SEPA27. And I created that page. By the way, just let me quickly, once you have an account and you type in, let's say you start an account then how do you start a new page in the account? I'm going to show you. I'm English.titanpad.com/ and I'm going to start a page, and the page is going to just say hello,
Why you wrote English first?
because that's my username. In TitanPad, I am English. Okay? You can get your own username and control that part of the
And I saw
address.
you will sign into your page, taking back. So everyone wants to.
You don't need, you don't really need to be signed in at this point.
No, if I create my own.
Yes, then you
Then I
kind
have
of
to
you
sign
kind
in.
of have to sign in.
And my
Yeah.
students have to sign in too? I give them.
No, they
Only
once.
that.
Okay, yeah. Let me clarify this for a minute here. Okay, once you have an account, you are creating the new page right up here in the address bar by putting hello or whatever that code is at the end. But it's going to say here now, there's no page yet with hello. Do you want to create the new page? And because it's identified me as GoMoro, then it will create the new page for me, and here's the new page. Now remember, I'm using it as a registered user in this case, which I highly recommend. If you really, it's much, much better. It has better features. Once you're a registered user, I get to control this text here, which is good. And I get to control, is this a public or private page? If you want to really if you're really worried about privacy, then all of your students or collaborators need to have their own accounts. They need to go into TitanPad. You can invite them to have their own TitanPad accounts. But normally, it doesn't matter for us. So normally, we would just create a page same way I did it, and as soon as the page opens, the first thing I always do is I go to security, I click public, and I could set a password. The whole course could have its own private password if you really care about security and you don't want other people visiting or seeing the work of other students or whatever. I probably should do that now that a lot of people are going to watch this, I hope, and start trying this. So I set the page to public, and that's it. Now I share the link with the students. I will come up here, copy the link, maybe I'll put it into an email, onto a web page, or maybe right here onto this page. Maybe like I said earlier, sometimes right in class we want this real-time interaction, and so these two students are working on question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I say, okay, you guys do the even questions and you do the odd questions. So what it's replacing now is the whiteboard or the blackboard, and you're seeing everybody's work. You're seeing who's not working. Everything is instantly saved. It's all color-coded. And I do the work that I used to do on the blackboard of correcting and commenting. I do it right here, and everybody sees it. Everybody's looking at the screen. And I can even show you a video example of that, which maybe I can quickly make this work here. So here we are. I copied the TitanPad links on, this is a real class that I taught this summer, and you can see I've got some assignments for them to do, and I pasted web addresses for them to work on, and I gave them they were working in groups, and then I started working we were doing an exercise together. So I said, your question number 1, question number 2, question number 3. I know we don't do this in university very much, but in primary, elementary, secondary, we do this. In this case, I was helping them. I gave them the first letter of the response because it was a closed test and it was a little bit difficult. See, now they're working here. That's the green student is answering. number 10, he's answering. So the even numbers were working, and in a minute here you're going to start seeing me reviewing their work and correcting their work online in real time. So, and I can also see who's not working in this case. So this is the most, maybe the most advanced use of TitanPad. And by the way, I did this with a small class, and because I'm really good at TitanPad, it's worth it for me to do this on TitanPad, even if I only have 2 students. I can do it faster on TitanPad than I can do it on paper or on the board. And the students were very engaged, and they knew that everything, all of their work was being documented and was visible to everybody. And I even, you notice here, I used the strikeout to correct a mistake. I could have erased it, but I wanted to document the fact that that was a mistake. So I used the strikeout feature to emphasize that that was a mistake. Strikeout is up in the top corner. So in the university, we normally would not work like this. But if everybody has a computer in your class, you can work like this if you want to. Instead of talking in groups for 3 minutes now, you're typing in groups, and you're instantly seeing everything that other people are doing. The most students I think I've ever had working on a page at once at the very same time was maybe about 8. And it seemed to work okay. I can't remember exactly what happened, but you might have a little problems after about 10 students. You really want this live interaction. Any questions?
Yes.
Okay, I think I'm going to turn off the HyperCam and say goodbye to all of you out there.
Oh,